the What Are We Doing podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the What Are We Doing podcast. My name is Levi McCurdy, and this is episode 90, what is it, 98? 98. It's episode 98, dude. Listen, we've been off the wall, crazy busy these last 2 weeks. You saw last week's episode. It was a bullshit one. It's fine. I got it out. It's whatever. It's fine. As of this very moment, Megs and I are on our way to the Dominican Republic, as most of you know. So we had to get this episode out. We're recording a little bit early this week, and I'm joined by none other than my best friend on the entire planet. Paulie Walnuts is here. Paul McBride, host of the High Cheese podcast. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Dude, I'm glad to be here. I think this is actually my first official appearance.
So I think
we did like little guest episode spots.
We did like right, yeah. So I mean, if you count how I stacked my Patreon page for the first year of its existence, I mean that was just pretty much me recording our phone calls without your consent and then posting them online. And then I think we did one official. I think we
without my consent, as if I didn't know that was happening.
Well, I think honestly, I might have mentioned it to you once. Therefore, I think legally I'm in the clear. So
yeah, I think that's how that works. It's not like I said anything I wouldn't say anyhow. So
well, no, and I mean it's not like I just uploaded it directly to the internet. I obviously bleeped names and cut parts out, and any business talk was obviously unnecessary. But yeah, no. And then I think you were on an episode when we were testing Riverside FM, which is one of the worst platforms for recording ever.
I forgot we did that one. That was just like a random episode. We just like riffed on stuff in the news. Yeah, that was a while ago.
Well, which is
last summer?
It's kind of essentially what we're doing today. Yeah. And then what else? And then I think the last few weeks, because I've just been so busy, I've just been filling the back half of this podcast because I'm the world's best podcaster with pre-recorded content that you and I did for High Cheese a few weeks ago. So
yes. Oh wait, and we did the basketball episode. I forgot about the basketball, the Kardashian Jenner teams. We did that episode.
Oh, that's right. I did put that in. That's right. We did do that spot.
All right. So I bet this is not like my first. I lied. This is definitely not my. Yeah. I get like a challenge coin for reappearing. So.
Yeah. Now I would say so every time you come on, I feel like we do something to improve. And I mean, but. So we've got the solid audio now, but still no video. Still no video.
Yeah, because I ripped my studio apart like a dunce. Dude, I thought it was a good time to do it.
No, honestly, as soon as
holiday weekend got to me, I was like, you know what? It's time to rip apart the studio, and now it's not back together, and we're back to work, and who knows when it'll be back together. So
yeah, well, and like honestly, I think I thought about it in the shower last night, and because I'm constantly thinking of you in the shower. I'm rearranging.
Love that.
I think I'm rearranging the studio when I get back. I think I definitely 100%. I'm getting a standing desk. I can't do it. I literally, Paul, I cannot do it anymore. I sit every day, all day. I wake up in bed, I'm sitting. I get up, I come up here, I'm sitting. I get up, I go get lunch, I come back here, I'm sitting. I go downstairs, I don't even stand to piss anymore. I'm just sitting 24/7, and it's like,
okay,
I can't.
Wait, real talk though. Real talk though about that, just because I got to talk about it for a second.
Yeah.
Underrated, sitting down while pissing.
Oh yeah. Oh, totally underrated. Well, because
you can be on your phone, you're not making a mess.
Yes, and yes. Because listen, growing up, two things. Maine society, and I'll tell you how I grew up, but Maine society always told you, like, you're not a man. Men stand to pee, and women sit to pee, because women have vaginas, and men are men, and we stand to pee. And that's what society, right? That's what society would lead you to believe. My father, who just an OCD clean freak, like literally vacuums the entire house 3 times a day. Literally, maybe more now. I'm not sure if it's gotten worse or not. But so my father told me, hey, we don't stand to pee in this house. You know why? Because you're a little 10-year-old kid and you're going to be pissing on the seat, on the floor, on the wall, all over the fucking place. You're going to be pissing everywhere, and I don't want to clean it up. I've already got to clean up the house 6 times a day, and I don't want to have to wipe piss off the wall. So from now on, sit down. And then I just do it. Now I just do it. And honestly, it makes sense because too, we're potty training my son, and like we're not teaching him to sit. Like he sits. He sits on the potty. Doesn't matter what he does. He's only ever pissed on it once in like the last 8 months. It's fine. We're working on it. He's autistic. It's okay. But you know, he sits, and he's probably gonna continue to sit because guess what?
Yeah,
I'm my fucking father's son. I don't want to clean up your piss either.
Dude, nobody wants to clean up piss. I mean, honestly, it's the worst. And like, dude, even in like a public restroom, like now, okay, I will never sit in a public restroom because usually people have pissed all over the seat.
Yes.
And that's horrible.
Yes.
And no one wants that.
Yes.
And that is why at home, I definitely don't want to have piss all over my seat. Just it's that simple.
Can I tell
so when you mentioned that, before we ADD too far, yes to standing desk.
Yes.
I've thought about it myself.
Yes.
But I just wanted to take the quick aside to like, if we're talking about standing and sitting, the one time where sitting is preferred, in my opinion, that traditionally, colloquially, look at that word, we're supposed to stand as men, and I'm not for it. I like to sit. I like to sit when I go to the bathroom. It makes my life better. It makes everything cleaner, and also I get a little extra phone time, you know, because we need that. We need to be on our phones more.
Yeah, of course. Well, of course, right, of course. Well, but I mean, so then, and my son's school, all the desks that all the people use in the building, they're standing desks, but no one stands. I have not seen one person in the building stand, and I have to go every week for a parent meeting, and we drop them off, and we do whatever. They're all sitting at them, so I'm trying to just steal one from them. I'm going to talk to Miss Liz and see if we can't make a deal.
Yeah, can we get a standing desk for home? I mean, so I don't have a standing desk now, but I have interest in probably replacing it at some point with that, just because it is nice. I mean, you and I both work on the computer all day, and your back, the posture's horrible.
Dude, I haven't, and
I feel lethargic from sitting. You know,
we haven't been to the chiropractor in like a month. I think we're definitely going tomorrow before the trip.
Great call before hopping on a plane.
Oh, for sure. And I'm sure, you know what? And you want to know what? I'm going to be, I don't want to say it's going to be 100% reverse, but I say 50-50 standing and walking versus sitting on vacation. Because, you know, we're going to want to walk on the beach. We're going to walk around the resort. We got to walk to dinner. We got to walk to lunch. We got to walk here. We got to walk to our room. We got to walk to the bar. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to an alignment by Dr. Cairo, and then this lovely vacation. So yeah, man, I'm gonna get a standing desk, rearrange this thing. I think honestly, I might be going every other podcast curtain background. What do you think?
Ooh, like a curtain with some uplight, like. All right, yeah, that'd be sweet. That'd be very.
So now, okay, let me. Ask
so
you
you'll
this.
Still have your Funko backdrop. You'll still have all your pictures and your signs and stuff, but you'll have like an episode here and there where you get just like a Dracula backdrop, like we did last week when we were shooting. Actually, a Dracula backdrop.
No,
you just
no.
Oh,
I'm thinking
not that type of curtain. Okay,
no. I'm thinking like remove the Funko Pops entirely. Like the background behind me will be just like either a curtain, like, you know, like a theater curtain, kind of, you know, like what Joe Rogan has, what Theo Vaughn has, what pretty much every podcast has. And then like some I think like Delia's is like a curtain, but then it's open a little bit, so what's directly behind him is like a shiplap wall or whatever. So I was thinking that as the flat background, and then maybe beside or maybe on the desk would be like a shelf from like IKEA or something with like one Funko Pop and a plant, maybe a picture on the other shelf, and then like one thing below it. Minimalistic.
So much more minimalist Levi.
Yes.
Yeah,
Not tumultuous.
I dig that.
Minimalistic.
Oh my gosh, we're just throwing that word around. Yeah, no, I dig that. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I look forward to the redesign. You still have to keep the other backdrop for Twitch streaming though.
Ooh.
Whenever you come back to Twitch streaming.
Ooh.
See, I got to get my act together. I haven't hardly played video games since I got a PlayStation. But because I want to get back, I know we talked about on the Twitch stream of I want to get into, I want to do a stream here and there. And the thing is, I probably can't be semi-regular with it because my life is too chaotic. But I would love to do it. I'd love to say, like, I'm going to play Elden Ring badly because I'm still playing it. Oh, geez. Woo. Elden Ring. I just got something stuck in my throat.
Are you okay?
Yes, I'm okay. I'm playing through Elden Ring. I haven't played as much since Zach has been busy because he and I were playing together.
Yeah, I know.
But I'm just not like very good at it, and it's like more evident to me that I'm not good at it because I'm on the Elden Ring subreddit, and I see people posting their like clips of stuff, like crazy stuff they do. Now, mind you, the game's like just over a year old. Like it's in year 2 now. Yeah, well, whatever, man.
Nerd. You're a fucking nerd. You're on
whatever,
Reddit.
Dude.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was singing. What are you doing on Reddit for Bloodborne? Looking up how to win?
Not Bloodborne. Same developer.
Elden Ring, Bloodborne. It's the same thing, dude.
It is. There's a series of games in the Dark Souls series, all that are based around kind of the same mechanic. Elden Ring is the latest. Bloodborne is the one that everyone talks about kind of as like the iconic game, I guess, of that series. Yeah. And then there's Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
I'd never played any of these games, and the first one I was intrigued by was Elden Ring, because I really wanted to get, I heard about it a lot when it first came out last year, and I was like, oh, that sounds pretty cool. George R.R. Martin wrote the story and all the lore behind it. And I was like, but I don't have a PS5 and I'm not going to get it. Like, I won't play it. And then Zach got into it, and he got like way, way into it. And he basically sold me on like, if you get a PS5, we'll play together. And he's 100% like, he wants to play like whenever he can, which is fun. We hop into co-op. The coolest mechanic of it is co-op mode, because he's like way better than I am and has been playing longer. Yep. So if I'm like stuck on like an impossible part of the story, Zach will hop in and just help me beat that boss. And then we do that together. And it's like fun because it helps me. Because admittedly, I'm also kind of in it for the story. Mm-hmm. I'm in it for the story. I'm not necessarily here for like, I don't need to be the best swords guy on the internet. But I want to stream it because I want people to see that, you know, they might not be the worst in the world at Elden Ring because I got that title.
I'm just gonna point out one thing he said, and I guess, you know what? It's fine. I'll probably talk to Megs about it, but you know, there's nothing you can do now. It's what's done is done. But you know, that I think there was a time not that long ago that, you know, I thought, at least I convinced you to buy a Pokemon game with me so we could play together, and you never. I waited.
You never did
and
do
you
that.
I
did get that Pokemon game. Want to hear this? It's funny as you mentioned this. I've actually not played that game. I have it.
No, I know.
I haven't played it though.
I put about 45 minutes into it. I think I got as far as you.
That was the one that was like. That was one that was like really glitched out, right?
It's glitchy. Yeah, I just found it. It was in my suitcase or whatever from, I guess, the last vacation we went on, and it's not good. It brought back memories. It's not good.
Switch is elite for vacation time. Taking it on a plane, playing Nintendo in the sky.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Megs and I. We will probably break down some like Mario Party at 3,500 feet.
Oh yeah, you know? Dude. We play Mario Kart sometimes.
Nice.
We'll do like detached Joy Cons at 3,500 feet. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyhow, Elden Ring. Back to that. I do want to stream. I want to be a guest streamer.
Well,
and I want to be bad at that game because I think I'll be the hi-fi. You know, you're playing Mario games. You're playing vintage.
Yeah.
I'll be our modern but very bad hi-fi gamer.
I think
that'll be my thing.
Yeah, I think once I get back. Now it's interesting because you said about keeping this backdrop as my streaming backdrop. The issue is I could probably do it virtually, maybe. I don't know. That kind of seems lame, but my standing desk would be, it would most likely not work in the room configuration. I mean, I guess I could put it over there and still keep it as the backdrop. Ooh, maybe I'll do that. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But yeah, so and when we get back, dude, Listen, I think we're done. I think we're done on Kick. Or not Kick. I think we're done on Twitch. We're moving to Kick. I think we're moving to Kick because that's where everyone's at now. Like Twitch is done. They have like shit rules. You can't smoke. You can't do anything. They keep like all your money if you even get any money. And like I've like creators like I think yesterday on Kick like got their first payout because that's just what time it is now, I guess. And like people who have been streaming on Twitch and not even affiliate just got paid by Kick the other day. Like something's going on. I know, and I've said it, I know I talked shit on it when it first came out because it's the guys who made Stake and it's most likely illegal and the money they're giving all these small creators is most likely from the illegal crypto gambling that they did prior to this. But
as long as it's real money and not crypto, though, like I'll take money from someone who they have ill-gotten money. I'll take that money.
Yeah,
the way I see it is somebody's got to take the money.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to take the money.
Yeah.
I'll take the money.
Well, so yeah, we've got, you can go to wadpod.com/kick, or I think kick.com/wadpod. I think they both work. Yeah, we have the account made. We just have to get back to the States.
Is it KIK? Is it how do I spell
No, it's just Kick, KICK. They made it easy for people like me, you know?
Yeah. I don't know why I thought that it was stylized as 3 letters for some reason.
Well, no, that's...
look at that. There you go. WADPod is offline.
There it is. Look at that. There we are. Kick, baby. So let's talk about it. Stage Fright Live.
Yes, let's do our plug. We'll do our plug. 20 minutes. No, we're not quite 20 minutes in. We'll do our plug. Okay. So yes, for those of you who don't know, I mentioned this when you guessed it on High Cheese for our baseball slang episode that you and I work together. We run a small agency in Pennsylvania here, and we do a lot of projects with cool companies. And we got a pretty cool one we're doing here. Coming up in August is the first night. We're sponsoring 24th. A Battle of the Bands. Yeah. Yes, August 24th. We're sponsoring a Battle of the Bands. And Levi, you will be the MC of the night, which is pretty fun.
Well, of course. And my new friend Glenn is doing it with me, and I can't wait because we're essentially the same energy level. We're gonna come up with some bits. And so I'm glad we're talking about it now because I ran by some ideas past Megs. And for anyone who doesn't know, there's about anywhere from 1 to 3 people in my life that I have to run all ideas by. Paul is one of those people. Because if I just do them, would be in a whole heap of trouble. So, I have to run my ideas by most people. So first of all, my attire. I really want to like hone my inner Viva La Bam hymn, like heart to gone, whatever the fuck symbolized. Black top hat, black eyeshadow, Lord of the Rings, Knight at the Round Table sword as my guitar. Yes or yes?
Wait, repeat that. I just gotta picture it more in my head. Hold on.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can find you. Gotham. Let me see if I can find you a picture of exactly what I'm going for. Hold on. I should have prepared for this, but like,
I know you're just. My mind. I'm trying to wrap my head around what you're gonna look like here. I mean, I'm all in favor of ludicrous costumes, as you know. Like I want the most ludicrous costumes that we can think of.
Right here. Okay, this is it. Right. I've got it.
Where am I looking? Discord?
Yeah. Discord.
All right, let me pop in there.
Desktop. Here, this is exactly what I want. Boom.
All right, I'm ready.
I'll have a picture on the screen.
Okay. Here, you look like there's a music video. Oh gosh, this is me being like an emo kid from the 2000s.
Yeah.
The music video for the band The Used. All That I've Got is what this gives. Here. This vibe. Here's the screenshot from the video. Here you go. Here, I'm literally, that's The Used, the band The Used. There you go.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, you could rock that, dude. You'd fit in. I mean, based on the submissions we got so far, we got some heavier music, it seems like, the first few submissions. Okay. Got a couple. I mean, I'm pretty stoked actually about the lineup that's starting to shape up over the last few days, especially. We got some bands. It'll be fun. And I feel like you would fit in with the vibe. If you were dressed like this, you would fit the vibe of like harder music. I'm not sure, it might shake out that we have some like more folk music in there. I'm not sure. Right now we just got hardcore music, so you'll fit in with that look.
So I'm thinking that. I think I'm going to do that for opening night. And then if we didn't mention, 3-night event. First night's August 24th. Second night is...
I want to say September 12th, but I am looking at the website that we built. It says...
Jamie's pulling it up. September 14th, and the finale is October 12th. Listen, all these details... I
mix up my days.
All these details are at stagefrightlive.com. It'll be on the screen, too, and in the description down below. But, so, yeah, man. So, I think I'm going, like, goth rock night 1. And then night 2, I'm thinking just like straight, maybe like black jeans, skinny jeans, maybe like black tank top, and like just, maybe like an actual guitar around my back. Okay. And then final night, obviously, we're probably, I don't know if this is official yet. Don't take my word for it, but we're probably doing a costume contest. So... I'm thinking probably just gonna rock the spacesuit, or I've got a butter costume down there. I could be a stick of butter because listen, I'm fucking 9 times out of 10 I'm on a roll. Okay, so it makes sense.
Oh wow, that was the daddiest joke. Wow.
Okay, well,
wow.
I mean,
I like it. You're a dad. You're a dad. Fine.
Opening. Here's my opening. I'm imagining this. The lights are black. Stage is completely black. And I'm set up, in my top hat and my eye makeup and everything. I'm on the drums. And then over, the sound system, whatever, we turn on, I forget exactly what song it is. I'll send it to you later. I think it's Keep Away or something like that. It's a Godsmack song. And it starts with like a dun 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 dun, and then get back. And then as soon as it says get back, I want the fucking lights to go crazy, and I'm gonna be on the fucking drums, not actually playing them because I don't know how to do shit, whatever. I'm gonna be back there, and then I'll drop the sticks. I'll come up to the microphone and I'll be like, "Can you feel I'm the life inside of you?" And then we'll cut the music, and I'll be like, Stage Fright Live, what the fuck is up? And that'll be the opening of the show. Me just covering the song.
What's Glenn doing?
Glenn, I'm not sure yet.
In this situation.
He might be maybe he'll be my guitar player. Maybe. And then like we could both walk up to the mics. Ooh, I like that. I'm on the drums, Glenn's on the guitar. We walk up to the mics, we do a little like lip sing, and then boom, we open the show.
I mean, I dig that. I feel like the more fun we have with it, the more fun it's going to be for everyone.
And then I'm thinking
the whole idea here. Yeah. The whole idea. We'll get back to the bit. One sec.
Go.
One sec. Yeah. I just want to finish our plug because we like started the plug. The whole idea here is if you're listening to this and you're a band in PA and you want to come try to be part of Stage Fright, you can submit at stagefrightlive.com. There's a whole section on band registration, the rules, how it works. What the deadline I think is July 23rd to submit this month.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yep.
So you got to submit by a couple weeks from now. And if you're a band, sign up. If you think you have what it takes to win, there's some really great prizes. We'll build you a micro website. You're going to get some store credit from Gator at Tone Tailors. You're going to get a single recorded at Here, a studio in Lancaster. And then we got some big vendors too. We got DPA microphones, Gator, D'Addario. We're looking for some more. So there's like some pretty cool prizes to win.
Did you mention Springhouse?
Springhouse Brewing is also a sponsor, but they're not giving away anything.
And we're getting,
Yeah, but they're here. So we got some cool sponsors. So if you're a band and want to submit, go to Stage Fright Live. If you're a sponsor and you're listening to this and you're like, oh man, I'd love to like have some of my merch, or I'd love to put something into the prize basket and get my name out there. Also go to the stagefrightlive.com and click on Become a Sponsor and read what we got for you. And then lastly, if you're in Central PA and you like live music and you want to be part of kind of rebuilding some of the community we lost during the last couple years of COVID times.
Yeah.
You could buy tickets as well. We're selling tickets to the first night. We're going to have the second and third night up soon too. So you can come. You get to see Levi dressed up like a goth musician and do bits on stage. You get to see a lot of local bands perform. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time.
Now listen, the ticket, and I mean, we're not talking Eras Tour people, okay? They're probably some of the most affordable tickets you can get. And I'm pretty sure they're on sale now. So go buy them, get 1, get 2, get 3. It's cheap. You're going to be just fine. Buy them for your friends, and we'll see you at Stage Fright. August 24th is the first night, right? And
yes.
What time do our doors open? I think we're opening the doors at 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock
maybe a little
right,
earlier than that. Yeah. 6 o'clock. Man, band registration open now. Tickets on sale now. Become a sponsor now. And yeah, man, I can't wait. We've gotten so many submissions, so many good bands signing up, and I can't wait for more to come.
Wait, and also if we, just because I got to make the pitch for you, if you or anyone you know has contacts at Liquid Death, and you're interested in sponsoring a local Battle of the Bands at a really great venue at Rock Lidditz, Mickey's Black Box. Mickey's Black Box. I don't think we mentioned where it's at in Lidditz.
Yes.
Reach out. Levi wants to talk to you. Levi has wanted Liquid Death to talk to him for a while, but if you want to sponsor Battle of the Bands, this is your time. Go to stagefrightlive.com, click Become a Sponsor, and get us your info. Liquid Death, let's do it.
We definitely need to work that into a bit somewhere. This night is not brought to you by Liquid Death. You know who it is brought to you by? Gator Cases, Tone Tailors, Mickey Black Box, Pixel Hammer. You know what I mean? Yeah. I love it. Yeah. So, I mean, and like, I think it's great because I don't know. I'm on the DJ side of things, right? I could talk to you all day about Pitbull and Justin Bieber. But, so I think it's going to be great and I'm going to learn a lot. And I think I'm going to use that to my advantage. Like, you know, we're going to work out some bits. I think it's going to be great. And it's at Rock Lidditz. And I mean, you never know, Paul.
You never know who's going to
show up at Rock Lidditz, do you? I mean, who are we talking about? We had Maggie Rogers roll through.
Shawn Mendes more recently. Billie Eilish.
We had Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox there last summer. I think Justin Bieber was there.
Justin and Hailey Bieber were there. They were playing pool at the same bar that we were drinking whiskey at. So
right, we were drinking whiskey at the bar.
So you never know. Yeah, you never know who's going to pop up. For those who don't know, let's just talk about Rock Lidditz, the area. Dude, it's a really cool spot in Lancaster.
It's insane.
That basically, if you are a musician who does nationwide tours, there's a good chance that you're going to start your journey at Rock Lidditz in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, which is so fun. It's like such a crazy thing that it's here, because they build the whole stage set of like your pyrotechnics, your fly rig, your stage itself, and they have this campus where the bands can rehearse on the stage and with their pyrotechnics and their speakers and the whole thing that's going to be what their live show is, but in a completely controlled environment where they're able to kind of work out like their choreography, how things work. And then they take the show on the road and they just load out from this big campus at Rock Lidditz. So Mickey's Black Box is a venue there. And it's a really cool newer venue. I think it's only a couple years old. So the Battle of the Bands being on that stage and on a campus where just like music is popping off is really cool. So I think that's our plug. We'll probably, I think as it gets closer, there might be some more plugs on the WOD pod about this.
We've got
it's a joint effort here.
2 more nights to promote. I'll probably throw the promo video that's being edited right now. I'll probably throw that up if we have it, like on a pod episode. More, way more talk about Stage Fright coming soon. It's a 3-night event, dude. So we've got all of August to talk about it, all of September, and then all the way through October, of course. So I can't wait.
The best month of the year. So the best month of the year.
Dude, and then that week for us is going to be insane. So
yes, we'll probably have to do a podcast at the end of that week just to talk about how fun our week was.
Dude, we're going to have to do that. We're probably going to have to do a podcast at like Lego World. We're going to have to do we've got some stuff coming, peeps.
Good stuff.
Speaking of stuff coming, did you mention?
What is this transition?
No, stop. That's bad. No, that's not where I was going.
I didn't know where you were going. I got really scared.
Aliens. Okay, you mentioned aliens yesterday, and I know they're here. They've already been here. Okay, I've been deep diving on Graham Hancock and the freaking pyramids, and the whistleblowers are coming out left and right. Now, listen. Here's my thing. What reason do we have to believe these government official whistleblowers, the documents that get leaked online? How do I know, Hunter Biden didn't cook that up one night smoking crack and then released it and said this is an official document? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Well, I personally, I've always been interested in aliens. Admittedly, I have not done too much of a deep dive. It's not something where I've spent because you know how I deep dive on things. This is not one I've a deep dive. I generally believe there have to be some sort of extraterrestrials, because the fact that we're the only sentient things that think in the whole entire universe, that we don't even know how far it stretches, that's just too ludicrous for me to assume that we're the only thing around. That's a little nuts. Yeah. So I believe in extraterrestrials. Whether they've been here or not, I'm not sure where I land on that either at this stage. I'm not sure.
Yep.
I know I actually have to read a really long thing that was sent to me from Zach, our friend Zach.
Report? Right, yeah.
No, he sent me something this morning that's from the late 2000s to mid 2010s. It's from the aliens community on Reddit. So I'll report back on that. We can do an update here. It was it's something that's going to take me an hour and a half to read based on how long it was.
Okay.
So I didn't read that yet. But I just listened to a podcast I regularly listen to called TrueAnon, where they had a rule. They've had a rule since the beginning of the podcast that they were never going to talk about aliens.
Oh.
And then they did a UFO episode last week because I guess with all the disclosure and everything going on, they decided, this was from June 29th, this episode, that they're doing an episode on UFOs. And it was interesting because they had on two guest hosts, one of which was a guy who knows a lot about the intelligence community, especially since there's been so many classified documents being declassified about this. And then they had another guy who's been studying UFOs for a long time and the phenomenon of UFOs.
Yeah.
And they kind of talked about it in an interesting way that I thought you'd appreciate, so they talked about how UFOs in general sort of can be used as a stand-in for belief in a higher power for people.
Yeah.
Because it sort of has that same conspiratorial something beyond us vibe to it that you get of how it works. The other thing I found interesting, do you remember the video that came out, I think last year or maybe 2020, that was they recorded it in 2017 and it showed a little blip moving really fast in a way that didn't make sense?
Yeah.
Remember that one?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, so they described that, they talked about that one in particular, because that was recorded on, I would believe they called a FLIR camera, which is a thermal camera.
Yeah.
And it looked crazy. I mean, I remember seeing it and being whoa, that's got to be a spaceship. Nothing moves that way. But the one host was hey, I just want you guys to know. So that looked crazy, right? It changed directions. It moved super fast. That was only about 40 miles per hour. It just looked that way because of the scale of the camera. Okay. He's that could have just been a balloon, right, just changing directions where the wind changed directions. Right. So it threw a little bit of water on the fire for me, believing that they were already here. Just hearing that, I was they didn't. That context was not provided when that leaked, when that broke everywhere. It's only 40 miles per hour changing directions, so it's could be a balloon just bouncing around in the wind, going back and forth. So I found it interesting. It was an interesting episode. And the question I have for you, Levi, while we're here chatting is do you believe in aliens? Do you believe they've been here already? What is your take? No one else's. Take away anything you've read. What is your take? Gut instinct. Are there little aliens, and have we been visited already?
Yeah, so no, there definitely are, of course, because we're not the only intelligent life out there. I think that there's I have so many theories. Let me think. I think that they are. I think we're a form of them. Like, I think part of us like might have, I don't know, man. I think like, okay, so here's the thing. There's no way us as humans in today's civilization built the pyramids. Like, they're too perfect. They're too this, they're too that. They're decisive. They're point north. They do all these things. Like the slate, the stone, there's no way that modern day technology or anything that they would have had. A handful of scientists believe that the pyramids were built 5,000 years ago. Graham and his friends think they were built 12,000 years ago due to rain and acid and other things. So if anywhere from 5,000 to 12,000 years ago, like they didn't have it. So there's theories about what the pyramids were and what they did. But there's also, I think I've heard theories about like them being like a battery for some form of life. I think there's a lost civilization. I think that if they had the technology back then to build the pyramids the way they did, they had the technology to, use element 151 or whatever to perpetuate a vehicle without the defiance of gravity, or whatever Bob Lazar was allegedly working on. And so so apparently these leaked documents say what? We have multiple governments, including our own, have crafts and bodies found within them. Like, correct? That's what I'm to believe. Is that what's going on?
I don't know about bodies. Hold on.
Okay. Maybe it was just crafts. I assumed it was.
I know crafts is one that we talk about a lot.
Okay.
Now, there's a lot of people who think that the crafts are just like, so why does it always come back to Nazis? But a lot of people think a lot of the things that have been found, because UFOs go back to like World War II era of like basically like shortly after we started flying, we started to see UFOs, which makes sense because we weren't in the sky.
Yeah.
The other thing on the TrueAnon guest, and I can't remember the two guest names, so I'll send them to you afterwards. We can like just link to that episode if we want, because it's an interesting episode. Just like kind of examining this with like a sober mindset as opposed to like just assuming everything is true.
Yeah.
But they were talking about how UFOs generally seem to appear in like earnest around the time, and this is kind of a phenomenon that I hate talking about, but like you're familiar with the idea of like when stuff happens in the news, what are we not paying attention to? Which is like a very common thing nowadays of like,
it's
blah, blah,
right.
blah, blah.
And I mean, let's just be clear. Like CNN,
like Hunter Biden
Fox,
pops up every
no
time the Supreme Court does something awful, and it's like, oh, well, why are we talking about Hunter Biden and not like this awful thing that is ruining everyone's life? Actually, like, what are we doing? But
yeah, exactly.
They were talking about how UFOs appear kind of around the time of like, the end of World War II, we start seeing UFOs, and there's like a lot of stuff going on in the world, the world shifting. Stuff's shifting, stuff's moving around.
I've heard also that there hasn't, like, the UFO sightings like basically didn't exist until after the nukes went off, which would probably indicate that those outer space life forms, like, obviously would have some form of like detector to know if like, what happened? We're seeing all that radion, like whatever. And so like they come and check it out to make sure, it's not an act of war, like a galaxy act of war. Like, how much truth
I think
do you think?
The nuclear bomb was 1945, which was in New Mexico. And then the first UFO sighting was in 1947, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's the one. There's also a lot of weird stuff that happened with that. Like I think there was like a plane crashed while they were trying to carry the parts of that UFO. It's a weird, the thing is, all of it comes back to, and this was talked about in this episode, like specifically related to like the intelligence agencies of the United States and how they're always involved in this stuff. And like the CIA like formed up around this time, and like all these things like sort of like all coalesce at the same time. So there's like inherently conspiracy theory built around UFOs because of the fact that it's like during the Cold War is like the height of UFO stuff, which like everything in the whole world was insane during that time. So like anything we saw a little bit weird, we were like, what's that? What's going on? Ah! Everybody like started freaking out about stuff. So yeah, the nuclear bomb testing, I mean, I love the theory that like aliens showed up because like we decided we were going to have nukes and nukes were a threat to the whole galaxy. And they were like, let's check out what these humans are doing. That's
Right.
what, I love that theory. I want that to be the thing.
Yeah.
I honestly think though, and this is like a little bit of my own thing, is like I think a lot of UFO stuff is like just the paranoia that started to exist in the world as at the end of World War II, we were all like worried about communism spreading and
Right.
worried about like the Cold War.
Right.
And so everybody was like freaking out all the time about everything.
Yeah.
Everything was like freaking people out. So like, oh, I saw some weird lights in the sky. It's probably aliens
and
coming.
like, okay, and so like,
it was like the perfect like situation
So
for people
where-
to like see stuff.
where do you fall on belief of the overall like stories? So let me try to explain. Like do you believe in more of like the oh God, what's his name? Fuck, damn it. Who's the Ghostbusters guy? Dan Aykroyd. Do you believe like more along his side of things, like the Crystal Skull and the Bonnie and Clyde who were abducted and they have the same story and their children and like all that stuff?
That's a weird story.
Or are you on the side of like Bob Lazar? They pulled him in, they wiped him from the books and history because he was working on this top secret craft that floated on its own. Like what's...
Yeah, I think I still need to like as I was saying at the beginning, I think I still need to read more and learn more about this to like have a full opinion. Cause like I'm only recently starting to be like more interested and invested in it because it's like become, well, because I pay attention to stuff adjacently until it's like, oh, I should probably pay more attention to this. And now everybody's talking about this in like a way where it was kind of popular in the 90s because of like stuff like X-Files and things like that like brought the idea of like, oh wait, maybe aliens are actually real and we just don't, like they live among us. There's also a theory, and this one is one I actually think is kind of intriguing. And the Bob Lazar thing, I know the name and I know the like idea. He was like in the 80s, right? That was like an 80s era UFO type thing.
Yeah.
Like he was like trying to reverse engineer. Yeah. So he was trying to like build a spaceship, right? That's what he was trying to do. If I remember correctly.
They had the craft, but they didn't understand how it worked, what it was, how it floated, the perpetual system within it,
we gotta get a like deeper dive episode just on this with Zach because he's like so well read on this.
Yeah,
he's
I know.
So well read
I
on
want
this.
it to happen.
So we're gonna
we
gotta bring Zach on.
But
I think where I land is just to like finish my thought.
Yeah,
I kind of land on. I think there's probably in every story there's a bit of truth. I also think a lot of it just goes along with each time one of these things happens, it's like there's other stuff going on. And not that it's like when this happens, they're trying to distract us, but I think like the national temperature for craziness,
right?
Usually when UFO stuff becomes like widespread is generally pretty high already. We're already a little on edge. So it's like, we almost want there to be something else going on.
Well,
like,
right, it's yeah. And I mean, so, but like, bro, I just asked you yesterday, bro, we have the Space Force now. It's a thing. We're on The Price is Right with it. We're doing fucking like, and so, right, they're, correct me if I'm wrong, but their daily, I don't know, task or job or whatever they're supposed to do is what? Looking through telescopes, trying to find aliens and make sure the International Space Station didn't get blown up?
I mean, I think that's... So, I looked this up after you said it yesterday because I knew that the Space Force existed, but I literally spent 0% time caring about it. I also watched the first episode of the Netflix comedy about it.
Okay.
Not very funny. Thought it'd be funny because the cast was incredible. Just not very funny.
The one with Steve Carell?
Yeah, Steve Carell, Ben Schwartz, John
it's not
Malkovich.
funny?
Great cast. Yeah, it was all the jokes felt really forced.
Okay.
But Russia's had a space force since the 90s.
Oh.
There was a Russian Space Force. I think it like doesn't. I can't remember if it exists anymore. I read like a little bit yesterday after we talked about this briefly. But yeah, it's the fact that it exists is either one of two things. One, the government as a whole knows something about aliens we don't, or we just like needed to spend extra money on the military, so we build a new thing.
Right.
Like one of that's always like a possibility.
Okay.
Like I always take the rational approach of like maybe we just wanted to spend more money and we just decided we needed to get more money funneled somewhere and we would keep that budget next year. So we did this.
Do you think do you think oh man, they definitely wouldn't let me do it, right? I would love to like film. I would love to go into an army recruitment office and be like, "Hey, I want to sign up for the Space Force. I want to be motherfucking, I'm talking Will Smith. I'm talking that other guy from Jurassic Park. I'm talking, I want to be flying in space, dropping bombs in the mothership. I want to be Guardians of the Galaxy. Look at me, I'm Chris Pratt. Sign me up. Where do I sign?" And like totally bitify it, but like be 100% serious. And just get their reaction. I would love to know what they say to people who come into the office and say, "I want to be in the Space Force." And I can only imagine their response would have to be, "Well, there's we have some other branches of the military. There's the Army, there's the Air Force. Now, if you want to fly, we can get you into the Air Force today." Like they probably don't even. Do you think they even mention Space Force at the recruitment offices? Like, how do you even sign up? I need to know. And if you do sign up, does it come with a direct invite to Mar-a-Lago? Like, do you get to go there immediately after you sign up and then Donald Trump shakes your hand and then you're in?
Dude, you can apply online. I'm going to send you the submission right now. Here we go.
Let's
How to
sign
become
up.
It's the USSF, the U.S. Space Force. I'm sending it to you right now.
USSF, dude.
This is how you join they're called Guardians. They're called Guardians.
They're called Guardians.
They're literally Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yep. Dude, I'm telling you, we were watching Price is Right last night, and little buddy comes on, and Drew's like, "Oh, what branch of the military?" And he's like, "Oh, Drew, I'm part of the Space Force." And Drew goes, "Oh, congratulations, Guardian." And like, I paused it. I turned to my fiance and I said, "Hey, what did Drew Carey just say?" Now listen, I know that Drew Carey is the worst choice that they could have picked for The Price is Right. His humor sucks. His jokes suck. No one laughs. It's forced every time. He's the fucking worst. I want him off the show entirely. So when I heard him say, "Oh, thank you for your service, Guardian," I thought it was a joke. And I literally
How would you not? How would you not think it's a joke? It feels like a joke. It feels like a joke.
How? Oh my God. Paul? What is this? There's music.
Oh, wait, there's music.
There's music in the background. Do you hear it?
I do.
Ah! I need this MP3.
Wow, Space Force.
Is this what you hear when you're in space? Is that what you hear
when
you're in space?
I think you hear, from what I understand, you hear literally nothing in space. Do you want to talk about what we talked about yesterday that you learned about me, that I'm terrified of space? Do you want to talk about that for a sec while we're here?
Okay, let me just say this. All you need is a GED to apply. You can be 17 years old. 17 years old, you can apply to be in the Space Force.
Dude, you want to become a Guardian? That's
I think
an alternate
we should.
plan.
I told Megs if this goes south, I would love to. Yeah, I think I would love to join. Become an officer, dude. I can ready to protect your everyday lives in a career in the space domain. We can't wait to see what you do. Apply. Okay. And I clicked on it and it takes me to a Google form. Oh no. SurveyMonkey. I have to fill out a form via SurveyMonkey to apply for the Space Force. I'm joking, but it's fun. Oh, bro, all you need to do is submit your name, email, date of birth, and phone number, and gender. And that's it. And you're signed up.
There you go. All right. Well, it looks like we're going to sign up your Space Force.
I'm going to sign up you and your wife. So when I'm in the Dominican, they just, you're just calling me. I'm sitting on the beach and you're calling me from a spaceship and you're like, "Levi, they're sending us to space."
I don't think they'd pick me. I think for a lot of reasons they wouldn't pick me. So I don't think I would get picked.
You have too many fucking
physical ailments.
You
so
you can't eat soy, and that's like the main ingredient in space food. So
yeah, they're like, oh, you have asthma and you can't eat soy, and they'd be like, why do you want to be in space? I'd be like,
so
I don't know. It seemed cool at the time.
Why are you deathly terrified of space, friend?
Oh yeah, okay. So space to me, and we were talking about this a bit yesterday, and you thought it was funny because I love things about space. I'm fascinated by space. Yeah. I love Star Wars. One of my favorite things to spend time. I think when I did the last episode, we talked about Andor. So Star Wars, one of my favorite pieces of media. I like just the lore of it. One of my favorite movies as a kid, this is like a funny one, was the movie October Sky about building rockets. Do you remember that one with Jake Gyllenhaal? Homer Hickam and the Rocket Boys, they build rockets, and he like gets out of the coal mines because he can build rockets.
I don't think I've seen that movie.
Right?
No.
Great movie, great film. You should watch it. Heartwarming tale. I've always been fascinated with space and everything about it, but someone the other day asked me like, oh, would you go to space? I was like, no, I would definitely not go to space, because the idea of space is the same to me as the bottom of the ocean. We don't know what's out there.
Right.
And it's terrifying. And like there have been enough movies about things going wrong in space. Apollo 13, The Martian, which is also a better book than it is a movie.
Armageddon.
Gravity, which is the one where like everything falls apart and everything goes wrong, and she's just Sandra Bullock is just tumbling through space endlessly, and it's terrifying because there's no one out there to stop it from happening.
Alien
and
versus
she's just
Predator.
Floating.
Star Trip Troopers.
Well, those ones, less those ones than the scary ones. But the idea of space, like the endlessness of space,
but can we just
like existentially frightens me. Like it's just like, ooh, that's honestly not something I like want to play with.
I don't think I saw the Sandra Bullock movie, but I'm all in favor of actually launching Sandra Bullock into space and just letting her float.
You don't like Sandra Bullock?
No, she's great. She's great. Oh. I'm joking.
Yeah. No. It's like, what beef do we have with Sandra Bullock? I don't know about this.
So
we're throwing Miss Congeniality into space.
You don't like the infinicy of it, right? Like
it's frightening to me, and the idea of going up there and not guaranteeing you're coming back because like it's all new still doesn't really appeal to me. Frightens me. Okay, not my favorite thing.
So
the same reason I wouldn't go in now that this is old news, but it's the same reason I wouldn't go in a submarine. See, firstly, I'm also claustrophobic. Yeah, like, that's probably. I'm not like terrified of many things actually.
Yeah.
But there's two things that really scare me. I'm claustrophobic. Really tight spaces geek me out.
Okay.
The other thing I don't like, and there's a perfect movie with this in it as creating my worst fears, is like really big open water, which is funny because it's almost the opposite of claustrophobia in a way, but it's not because you can't live there. You can't without like a craft.
Yeah.
So in the movie, what's the Christopher Nolan one?
What's
the Christopher Nolan movie about space? Interstellar. Yeah. They go to that one planet where it's an entire planet of water.
Right.
And it's just like an endless wave crashing. I had nightmares about that, literally. And I was like when Interstellar came out, I was in my mid-20s. So like, it's not like I was like a little kid. Came out, I was 24 years old when Interstellar came out.
Yeah.
I watched that movie, and the night I watched it, I was up till 3 or 4 in the morning just thinking about that water planet and how terrifying it was. And then they come back from there to the space station, and like the other guy's like 30 years older because time was relative, and it's really sad. Horrible existential vibes. Everything about that. I was like, I don't need to go to space. I don't need to do it. Yeah. It's fine.
Okay. So
I don't need to do it.
So okay, let me ask you this. 20 years from now, things are going great. Elon has a colony on Mars, and it's as common to get there as it is to fly to Punta Cana. You going?
Dude, if it eventually, like it's one of those things. It's the same way I feel about like Neuralink. Like,
okay,
I'm not down to do it, but like in like 30 years, if somebody that's not Elon Musk did it,
right.
I'd be like, okay, like if it's not, there's
when
everyone
has an iPhone, right? When everyone has an iPhone, we'll get one, kind of thing.
Yeah. Like, and it's not all technology. Like, obviously, I'm like down to hop into new technology, but it's stuff like space travel and also things you put in your brain that I'm like, I'm not sure I want to do that. Just because it's a frontier that we haven't crossed yet in a way where I trust that we're doing it like the right way either. So it's like a bunch of combinations of why I'm afraid of space. My own like fears and proclivities, and then also so far the people who are doing privatized space travel aren't someone that I would trust. I wouldn't even drive a Tesla. So I don't think I
that's
would
right.
trust my
That's
life.
right.
Yeah,
you won't
I don't
drive
think I'm gonna trust my
Teslas,
life.
dude.
Yeah,
You
I'm not going to
won't
trust my
drive
life to
Teslas.
that.
Isn't that hilarious? That's right. I forgot.
Yeah,
Because
so
you think
I
they'll
don't-
just
yeah.
explode as soon as you sit in the passenger
I mean,
seat.
enough of them have. I'm good.
Enough? How many? Like 2, dude? What do you mean enough?
Oh, way more
Bro,
than 2.
I pass 10 Teslas every day on the road. What do you mean? There's a dealership 5 minutes from my house. Like none of them have exploded. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. I think that's a conspiracy.
Approximately 50 Teslas have just caught on fire.
50. Okay.
195 as of 2023.
Okay, but how many?
That is more
How many
cars,
engine
more
vehicles
cars.
catch on fire every day?
Let's find that out.
Fires are there daily.
Also, they don't have autopilot that millions of cars are not. Da, 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 da.
Except all. In 2020, there were 173 vehicle engine fires. The year before that, it was 181. Year before that, it was 170.
That's not that many. That's not really that many.
Yeah, but it's the same number every year. It's not 50
Yeah, but all those
Teslas
people
every
aren't
year.
saying
It's
their
50
car-
Teslas total.
All those people aren't saying their cars are the safest car on the road and you should drive it and have the autopilot feature. Not into it.
All right.
Not into it.
All right. I'll let you win. Well, listen, speaking of billionaires, who's
We've
your money?
seen what the man did with Twitter, okay?
Who's your money on, Mark or Elon? Who's taking it?
It's not happening now, apparently.
What? No,
Which is
I
a bummer.
No, what do you mean?
Apparently, Elon. Word I heard was Elon's mom told him he couldn't do it.
No, fuck that. Dana White posted a picture. He had a shirt. He had a shirt with a UFC logo. It said, and then Logan Paul came out and said he'd fight for free on the undercard against Paddy Pimbleton. Like, what do you mean? It's set. It's done. What do you mean it's not happening? It better
I'm
happen.
reading right now, his mom told him a day ago, Maya Musk disapproves after son Elon trains.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, it's a metaphor. Oh God, this is so dumb. Elon Musk biographer Walter Isaacson says cage fight won't happen. It's a metaphor. That's so dumb. Yeah, it's not going to happen. They're not going to fight. If they did, though, money's on Zuckerberg by 1 million. 1 million times over.
Well, okay, so like I didn't know this until this year, but apparently he's like the #1 jiu-jitsu guy ever. Like he's the world champion or some shit. Like, okay, Mark. Like, cool. Like he's definitely like I would pray. I would be so ecstatic if Mark Zuckerberg like broke Elon's arm. I would love it.
Yeah.
I would love if his leg got broken, something. Like because then, right? Okay, hear me out. If Zuck breaks Elon's arm or Elon's leg, something, nothing deadly, whatever, it's a little thing, how quickly do you think Elon replaces that whole limb with a robotic like Terminator hand?
Probably very quickly, and then it would like not work and malfunction and like kill one of his Twitter employees.
It just smack the shit out of him like every 20 minutes. Yeah. Just smack himself, and then he just says the wrong thing and he chokes out a Twitter employee. He chokes out the last Twitter employee. Everyone else has left at this point or been fired, mainly fired. But like there's one left, and like his hand malfunctions and murders them. I love it.
Yeah, I could see that. That seems right.
It.
That seems reasonable.
I love it. You're on Threads. Is it taking over Twitter? I'll tell you what. Last night I found.
Give me a lightning round here. We'll finish out the pod this week with lightning round. Give me things in quick opinions. So I pick Zuck. That's my quick pick there. Go.
Yeah,
Threads versus Twitter.
I've been bouncing back and forth. And I'm still on Twitter, and I think I'm still gonna be on Twitter more than Threads because it's the people I follow. My algorithm is great on Twitter, and honestly, all Threads is just I don't know. I'm not sure about it yet.
Well, so I'm also on Blue Sky because I got on there pretty early.
I'm waiting for
I might have an invite code I can send your way. Let me check on that.
Oh, okay.
I've been on there. It was like a time-based thing. You have to be on there for a certain amount of time before you get invite codes. Let me check. I haven't been on. So Blue Sky is cool. Blue Sky is just Twitter.
Yeah.
It's Twitter before everything was ads. And so I hopped in there. There's just not a lot of people on there yet because it's still invite based. So it's like, I do enjoy it. I follow like all my favorite Twitter personalities over there, and they're all posting over there.
Yeah.
But there's just not that many people there yet.
Yeah.
So I personally think that this is going to come down to, I think Threads has a good shot just because of the fact that you can pop from Instagram to it without doing anything. Like I could just click follow all my Instagram followers and it just moved it over.
Right.
I think Twitter, dude, like I think Twitter's got to be close to circling the drain for like the final time because the rate limiting thing last week was insane.
Oh, the rate
it was insane.
limit, dude. The rate
that was
limit.
Insane.
Is that gone now? Or is that still a thing? Because I haven't seen anything about it. I've been on Twitter all day, every day, and no one, like I haven't hit my limit. And I'm sure I've scrolled past, 600 tweets.
I don't know apparently the deal, I was like trying to read about this and I've listened to a few podcasts that mention it. Like apparently they like didn't pay a Google hosting bill or something. And that was part of what did that. It was like $1 billion thing.
Like it doesn't I saw a thing, and honestly, after I heard it, it makes sense because of what I do. Like there's no server load or any like you wouldn't limit your own database. The only reason you would limit people and seeing what they see is because of the data load and not paying your AWS bill or whatever they use to run it. So I think it was like, I'm pretty sure he owed the server company like a bunch of money. And, so instead, hey, we're going to stop loading these things so I can only pay, $1 per load instead of 30 per load, times 100 billion Twitter users. It's, $1 million a minute. So for, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what exactly the exact reasoning was behind there, but
yeah, I feel like that's so. I don't think it's between Twitter and one of the competitors. I think it's probably one of the competitors taking the market share here.
Yeah,
because I think Twitter's like. I mean, the thing is, Twitter's also become so unusable because it's just like the no moderation is like. All of the ads are like e-girl games for like the horniest teenagers, and like
it's
just
so bad,
awful stuff. It's so bad. It's so bad, and like it's just terrible. So I was joking. Like the one thing I would pay for Twitter is to be able to limit how many tweets I can see, so I'm not on there as much. And they did that for free.
Right.
So it was honestly great. Thank you, Elon. You did the one thing I needed, which was get me off of this godforsaken website.
And so
I think it's probably going to come down to if Blue Sky. I don't think Mastodon's it because they've had years to try to be something.
Mastodon's out. Blue Sky just needs to open, and if
Blue Sky opens out wide, I think they'll get a bunch of people just because it's literally the same interface. It works just like Twitter did.
Right.
Threads, though, I'm intrigued to see how this works. Threads to me feels like how Facebook used to feel.
Yeah.
Like when Facebook was just status updates before Facebook was like the worst place on the planet as well.
And here's my hot take, and I think this is honestly why I'm still gonna do Twitter. Because that's why I'm on Twitter. Because Dan, Christina, Christy, all these people who are now hopping on the Threads train who had, I'm not on Twitter. Twitter's dumb. I'm not going to Twitter. I'm not going to be on Twitter. Twitter's dumb. That's why I'm on Twitter, because those people aren't. And I can speak my mind without being judged. I can have different conversations over there. And if I want to see what you're doing with your son or your daughter or whatever on Instagram, I'll go look at your Instagram. But Twitter is my wild, wild west. And so now Threads is just my Instagram followers. So I'm going to be a little more cautious about what I post. on Threads, of course.
I think Threads has some good marketing potential for like the fact that it is like I was seeing, and I have to like confirm this, but I'm seeing that like a lot of musicians are hopping into Threads,
right?
Because Twitter's broken for artists. It's just not. It's broken for artists.
Yeah,
but if Threads can kind of deliver that experience where you can like promote, like, because I personally, the one I post on the most is Instagram.
Okay. Right.
And I usually use stories more than anything. I don't really post very often on like an actual post.
And I think that's why they created Threads, because they know
and
that.
Threads kind of just gives you a text-based version of stories.
I mean, here's the issue. They had to release Reels to compete with TikTok or they would have died.
Yep.
Because the main feed's dead. So Reels killed the main feed. No one's posting pictures and videos on TikTok or on Instagram anymore. They're just posting Reels, whether it's images or not. It's stupid. And, you know, with the Twitter thing, it's like, well, you know, we're done with Reels because guess what? Reels can't compete. No one watches Reels. Yeah, Facebook was hot for a minute, but now the numbers are back down again because everyone realizes TikTok's not going away. Everyone flooded to Reels and Facebook Reels and Instagram Reels because we all thought TikTok was getting banned at a federal level because they made it pretty freaking clear by bringing in the CEO and putting him in front of every single state representative, you know, and grilling him like, what's my Wi-Fi password? TikTok knows it, you know, and it's like, what the fuck? It's not getting blocked. I think a couple states, honestly did block it.
Yeah,
like,
I think
doesn't matter.
Montana was one.
I think, like Montana and Minnesota are some bullshit ass state that no one wants to live in anyways. Who gives a fuck? They shouldn't be a part of the U.S. if they ban TikTok. So get them out. And like, so we just realized that, hey, TikTok is still it. So no one's on Reels. No one's doing that. So they obviously saw the dumpster fire that Elon created at Twitter. But I just, again, I think I'm still in on Twitter just because of the follows and just my algorithm. You know what I mean? Like there's people I follow there that I wouldn't follow on Instagram and vice versa. So
well, that's what Blue Sky is for. You go follow them on Blue Sky.
Well, right. So, I mean, yeah, if I do get an invite, I'll try it there. But again,
I got a code for you right here. I'm going to send it afterwards.
Bang,
there you go.
Perfect. Cool.
Putting it in Discord, so you'll have a Blue Sky code when you want it.
Awesome. And so, speaking of billionaires, one last thing. Did you see Michael Rubin's party? Michael Rubin,
for the
billionaire whiteout party? Yeah.
Yeah, all of the Sixers were there.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I mean, everyone was there. I've got a list of some of them. You can give me the Sixers because you know me. I don't know any of those guys. But we had like Kim Kardashian, the Migos, Elton John, Tom Brady,
Jennifer
Kevin
Lopez,
Hart, Jack Harlow, Jay-Z, and Beyonce showed up. Leonardo DiCaprio was there. Unfortunately, his date was carded and asked to leave for being under 21. But Leonardo DiCaprio was there. Ben Affleck, J-Lo, and like the clone of Jennifer Gardner, who is Ben Affleck's daughter. And by the way, dude, Ben Affleck, miserable. The day he got back with J-Lo, I have not seen that man smile. That man has not smiled one time since he has been with Jennifer Lopez again, and I'm not entirely sure what's going on. Every other week, there's a TMZ article about them fighting, or like her like not agreeing with what he does, or like hitting him, or like being pissed, or it's just like, it's not, I don't get it. I don't understand it. I mean, I guess they're happy. I don't know. It's J-Lo. I mean, hey, she's got the butt, you know what I mean? You look at her ass, you smack it a couple times a day, and that's probably all the man needs. But other than that, it's like the man's miserable. I have not seen Ben Affleck smile.
I haven't really seen him smile either, no.
Oh, and of course, DJ Khaled was there taking pictures with everybody. I don't think I told you this. I got an invite, but unfortunately, I couldn't go. My fucking embarrassment of a $20,000 Frenchie needed his anal glands expressed that day, so I had to go do that. Couldn't attend, but I heard it was an okay party. I heard it was okay.
Yeah, no, well, the big news, and this is my little sports corner. I love doing a sports corner for you because you don't follow them all.
Yeah, go.
So James Harden, Sixers point guard for the last couple years. He wants out, is the rumor. He wants to go play in Los Angeles because his contract is up. But the way the NBA works is the Sixers are the team that can give him the most money since they're the team that he played for last. It's called bird rights is what it is.
Right.
And so if he wants to maximize his earnings and go play for the Clippers, whereas he wants to land in Los Angeles, he would have to opt in to the Sixers, and then they can trade him. It's called a sign-in trade. Yeah. So it's been like a really, I'm going to use tumultuous offseason. Correct use of that word. Tumultuous offseason for them because it's putting the Sixers in this really hard place where, like, if they don't bring him back, they don't have a lot of money to spend on replacing him. Right. So bringing him back and trading him is crappy. Bringing him back and not having money to spend on other players, they're kind of there's a lot of history of why the Sixers in the place they're at. But so it's been like, oh man, this sucks. Like James Harden's going to leave, they're going to get nothing for him. The Sixers are going to be sucking again, like they were a few years back. Yeah. But at the white party at Michael Rubin's house, James Harden, Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris, and Tyrese Maxey took a bunch of pictures together and looked like they were having a blast. Okay. So the theory is maybe all of the sports media is overblowing how bad the situation is with the Sixers, and maybe Harden's not as unhappy here, and maybe there's a chance we run it back and he comes back and we make a few moves, and James Harden is still happy playing in Philadelphia. Because it looked like they were having a blast. They looked like they were having a good time. Okay. So we'll see. Well, we'll see what happens here.
And speaking of James Corbin was there. Late show, James Corbin. Like, can we just?
You mean Corden?
Corbin. What is it? Corden?
Yes.
James Corden. Whatever the fuck, you know who I'm talking about. The chubby motherfucker from Britain. Can we not deport him? Like, can we get him out of this country? We're done with the show. Yeah, he gave us carpool karaoke and it was great. But like, other than that, like, I'm pretty sure he's racist and mean to like every wait staff worker on the planet. Like, he thinks they're the scum of the earth. So like, let's just get him out. Like, why is he at the party? He's not a billionaire, is he? I don't know. Maybe he is. I don't know. I don't like him. Get him out. It should have been me. It should have been me and you. We should have replaced James Corden with me and you. You know what I mean? I have a white shirt.
Yeah, I mean, I've really soured on. I used to think James Corden was amusing, and now every time I see his face, I'm like, get away. Get away. Stop it. Stop it.
You know what did it for me? You know what did it for me? And this is how bad it is because I didn't actually watch it. The movie Cats. Like, did you
I wasn't gonna watch that. No. Okay. There's zero chance of me watching that.
When I heard that Taylor Swift had a cat butthole in the movie, it just kind of, I don't know. Not for me. I don't know. It's Taylor, but like, what are we doing with the cat CGI? Man.
It's.
Well, listen, dude, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you hopping on this episode. Saved me from doing it.
I love a little rambly episode with Paul and Levi. It's always a fun time where we wild out, We wild out.
For sure. I'm gonna go join Blue Sky and see what all the huppaloo is about over there, and probably just be back on Twitter. So check us out. Follow me on Twitter, ladies and gentlemen. This has been another episode of the What Are We Doing podcast. Please give a round of applause for my guest, Paul, host of the High Cheese podcast. If you have not subscribed or listened to anything I've been saying for the last, 11 weeks since they've started this thing back up, check it out. High Cheese podcast on all platforms, right?
Yes.
All platforms?
Yes,
yeah.
If you're interested in baseball, banter, where we sometimes relate baseball to stuff going on. We also, we have an episode coming up here in a few weeks. It's the All-Star break for baseball coming up at the end of this week. So there's a week off. We're probably going to do a movie episode. So there's going to be some fun stuff for everybody. Cool. Even if you don't love baseball and you're just like, I'd love to hear about baseball movies, or I want to hear about the movies. Joe and I will be talking about that. So yeah, check me out, High Cheese Podcast. Also, if you want to follow me on Instagram for music and other things, I think I'm Paul_McBride. Is that my name?
I think that's right.
Paul and also you can find me on Threads now if you want to find me on Threads. Paul_McBride.
Follow us on Threads. The podcast is on Threads. Podcast. I think it's What Are We Doing _pod on Threads. So,
can't wait. I'll be following there too since you added that. I literally got Threads like 5 minutes before we recorded. So
here's what I'll tell you. You know when I'm going to use Threads? Whenever whenever my super duper top secret that everyone knows about, that's in the description of this video and every podcast episode ever, because we have a referral link, so click that instead of going to it. Whenever Repurpose sends stuff to Threads, which I'm sure will be coming in the next month or so, as soon as Repurpose sends it to Threads, that's when you'll see me post. You know,
all right.
I'll post my shorts and then they'll get posted to Threads. Why not? So whenever Repurpose integrates with them, that's when I'll, you know, who knows? I don't know. It's too, dude, it's so much. I got Snapchat, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Blue Sky, Mastodon, Threads, Facebook Reels, Facebook posts, clips, shorts. I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. Someone needs to go. And if it has to be Twitter, so be it. You know, I would hate for it to be Twitter, but
it's going to be Twitter. Twitter's not going to, I think Twitter's going to make itself go away. I don't think you're going to have to get off the platform. I think one day we're all going to wake up and go to log into Twitter and it just won't be there. And it's going to be fine because then I'll never have to see hell ever again. So I look forward to that, you know?
Real quick, last 2 seconds. What do you think that announcement comes from Elon alongside a new platform?
No, what's going to happen is the Saudis are going to buy it off of Elon and they're going to try to reboot it since they're the other investors. Okay. And then it's going to melt down entirely.
Got it.
So
Got it. Okay, so essentially...
Oh, wait, one more plug, because we didn't even talk about anything we're watching right now. Okay?
Yeah, go.
Just because we have to talk about this.
Yeah.
The Bear on Hulu.
Ooh.
You have Hulu, right?
Ooh.
And my last thing, I just want to talk about it because I'm trying not to rip through it and binge it right now.
Okay.
All right, I really liked the first season. Second season, even better. The Bear is one of my favorite TV shows.
Okay.
I love a TV show that drops you into a world that you're like, it's not something you normally would be thinking about or caring about. And like the world of like a small boutique restaurant in Chicago is not something where I'd be like, oh, that sounds like a show I'd dig. But the characters, the writing, the cinematography, the way that they make Chicago a character, which is, I love shows when the backdrop of a city is the character. Like The Wire with Baltimore is one of my favorite HBO shows ever. The Bear on Hulu, just my like quick media corner, because I feel like every time we're on here we didn't talk about any TV shows or movies. So The Bear.
So you know
Hulu.
what?
Season 2 just came out recently. It's so good.
I'm so glad you brought that up, because when season 1 came out, I haven't watched any of it. When season 1 came out, I was like, ooh, Lip Gallagher, you sexy little man. Let's check this out. And then, you know, life, whatever, Gordon Ramsay show came on and we obviously have to watch that over anything else. So we never got around to seeing it. And then I think like they're posting clips now on TikTok of season 2, obviously. And every TikTok I see of it, I'm like, I'm so intrigued. I'm so in love. I love him. And obviously I know like the premise, a family member of his passed away or died and had this restaurant and he came back.
Yeah, the premise is his brother committed suicide.
Yeah, okay.
His brother is actually played by John Bernthal, who's one of my John Bernthal's always an actor when he pops up in something. I'm like, oh, John Bernthal, he's in it.
Ooh, yeah.
So his brother
underrated
commits
character
suicide
on The Walking Dead.
Yeah, great actor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think we talked about that on my wall. Oh, we did a Walking Dead episode too in the car. We've done another episode together.
That's right.
That's right. All right. Anyhow, but yeah, John Bernthal is his brother. Yep. So his brother commits suicide, and we're kind of just like dropped into the world he's running his brother's restaurant, which is this like little hole in the wall Chicago restaurant that's known for its beef sandwiches called The Beef.
Okay.
And over the course of that season, like we find out like just more about their family, and he is like a world trained. He worked for like a 3-star restaurant in New York City. Like he's like a top Michelin star chef. He's like the real deal.
Yeah.
And basically throughout the course of the season, stuff gets figured out in season 1. And then I can't give away the plot, but basically season 2 is they're renovating the restaurant and he's turning it into The Bear because the family's name is Bearzado.
Okay.
And he wants to have a restaurant called The Bear. It's like a dream of his since he was a kid.
Yeah.
So the second season so far, I think there's 10 episodes. I think we're 6 in.
Okay.
Is they're renovating the restaurant and all the things that go along with renovating an old building in Chicago, and everything's going wrong. But like, it's such a great character show that like, even if nothing happens action wise through an episode, it's just like, it's just a beautiful show. It's a great show.
Yeah.
And we're trying to take it slow. Like, it all dropped at once on Hulu for season 1 and 2.
Okay.
But we're like not binging it because I like don't want it to be over, because I don't know when the heck season 3 is going to happen with all the writer's strike stuff. So season 2, The Bear. That's my last pitch.
Okay.
We can be done now. I just was like, wait, we didn't talk about The Bear. We didn't talk about The Bear. It's so good.
No,
it's like the one show I keep thinking about right now.
I think maybe, honestly, we might check it out. I might get some of it downloaded and check it out on the trip. Yeah.
Cool thing too, season 1, most of the episodes are 20 minutes, so you can finish it really fast.
Oh, sick. Okay, cool. Maybe I'll get both.
Which is nice, because like, I love a 20-minute show because you can watch it and then you have the rest of your time to your life. You know, You're not like sitting there for 45 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour.
Yeah, sometimes the 45-minute to an hour episodes get a bit much. That's why that's why Megs and I, like, we're Grey's Anatomy fans, but we from the beginning fell off around, like, I don't know, season 12, 13, who knows. And we've talked about going back, but like, we can't it's so long, and every season has just so many episodes, and it's like so many of them don't matter, but you have to watch them. And so we're waiting till it's the very end and they fucking finally finish the show. And then we're going to watch the whole thing from beginning to finish and then never watch it again. So that's like, the whole 45 to 60 minute episode is like, sometimes can be a drag. So 20 is perfect.
Perfect. So yes, watch The Bear. We'll talk about that when whenever you watch it.
Yeah.
Yes, thanks for having me on again, man. Pleasure
all right.
as always.
Yeah, man, dude. Episode 98. Thank you so much. Guys, wadpod.com/links. I don't have to say it every week. It's in the description down below. You won't click on it. It's fine. We'll see you next time. Peace out, everybody.
Bye.
This is the What Are We Doing podcast.